Hi guys, welcome to another audio video, and I'm reading 2 Samuel 14 of the King James Version Bible, and it reads, Now Joab the son of Zeruiah perceived that the king's heart was toward Absalom, and Joab sent to Tekoa, and fetched thence a wise woman, and said unto her, I pray thee, feign thyself to be a mourner, and put on no mourning apparel, and anoint not thyself with oil, but be as a woman that had a long time mourned for the dead, and come to the king, and speak on this manner unto him. So Joab put the words in her mouth. And when the woman of Tekoa spake to the king, she fell on her face to the ground, and did obeisance, and said, Help, O king. And the king said unto her, What aileth thee? And she answered, I am indeed a widow woman, and mine husband is dead. And thy handmaid had 2 sons, and they 2 strove together in the field, and there was none to part them, but the one smote the other, and slew him. And behold, the whole family is risen against thine handmaid. And they said, Deliver him that smote his brother, and that we may kill him, for the life of his brother whom he slew, and we will destroy the hair also. And so they shall quench my coal which is left, and shall not leave to my husband neither name nor remainder upon the earth. And the king said unto the woman, Go to thine house, and I will give charge concerning thee. And the woman of Tekoa said unto the king, O my lord, O king, the iniquity be on me, and on my father's house, and the king and his throne be guiltless. And the king said, Whosoever saith aught unto thee, bring him to me, and he shall not touch thee any more. Then said she, I pray thee, let the king remember the Lord thy God, that thou wouldest not suffer the revengers of blood to destroy any more, lest they destroy my son. And he said, As the Lord liveth, there shall not one hair of thy son fall to the earth. Then the woman said, Let thine handmaid, I pray thee, speak one word unto my king, my lord the king. And he said, Say on. And the woman said, Wherefore then hast thou thought such a thing against the people of God? For the king doth speak this thing as one which is faulty, in that the king doth not fetch home again is banished. For we must needs die, and are as water spilt on the ground, which cannot be gathered up again. Neither doth God respect any person, yet doth he devise means that his banished be not expelled from him. Know therefore that I am come to speak of this thing unto my lord the king. It is because the people have made me afraid. And thy handmaid said, I will now speak unto the king. It may be that the king will perform the request of his handmaid. For the king will hear, and to deliver his handmaid out of the hand of the man that would destroy me and my son together out of the inheritance of God. Then thine handmaid said, The word of my lord the king shall not be comforted. Sorry guys, this thing shall not be comfortable. For as an angel of God, so is my lord the king to discern good and bad. Therefore the Lord thy God will be with thee. Then the king answered and said unto the woman, Hide not from me, I pray thee, the thing that I shall ask thee. And the woman said, Let my lord the king now speak. And the king said, Is not the hand of Joab with thee in all this? And the woman answered and said, As thy soul liveth, my lord the king, none can turn to the right hand or to the left from aught that my lord the king hath spoken. For thy servant Joab, he bade me, and he put all these words in the mouth of thine handmaid, to fetch about this form of speech hath thy servant Joab done this thing? And my Lord is wise, according to the wisdom of an angel of God, to know all things that are in the earth. And the king said unto Joab, Behold now, I have done this thing. Go therefore, bring the young man Absalom again. And Joab fell to the ground on his face, and bowed himself, and thanked the king. And Joab said, Today thy servant knoweth that I have found grace in thy sight, my lord, O king, in that the king hath fulfilled the request of his servant. So Joab arose, and went to Geshur, and brought Absalom to Jerusalem. And the king said, Let him turn to his own house, and let him not see my face. So Absalom returned to his own house, and saw not the king's face. But in all Israel there was none to be so much praised as Absalom for his beauty. From the sole of his foot even to the crown of his head there was no blemish in him. And now he polled his head, for it was at every year's end that he polled it, because the hair was heavy on him. Therefore he polled it. He weighed the hair of his head at 200 shekels after the king's weight. And unto Absalom there were born 3 sons and 1 daughter, whose name was Tamar. She was a woman of a fair countenance. So Absalom dwelt 2 full years in Jerusalem, and saw not the king's face. Therefore Absalom sent for Joab to have sent him to the king, but he would not come to him. And when he sent again the second time, he would not come. Therefore he said unto his servant, See, Joab's field is near mine, and he had barley there. Go and set it on fire. And Absalom's servant set the field on fire. Then Joab arose and came to Absalom unto his house, and said to him, Wherefore have thy servant set my field on fire? And Absalom answered Joab, Behold, I sent unto thee, saying, Come hither, that I may send thee to the king to say, Wherefore am I come from Geshur? It had been good for me to have been there still. Now therefore let me see the king's face, and if there be any iniquity in me, let him kill me. So Joab sent to the king, and told him, and when he had called for Absalom, he came to the king, and bowed himself on his face to the ground before the king, and the king kissed Absalom. Sorry guys, I'm having a little problem seeing right now. I don't know why that is. But yeah. Alright, so in this chapter we see where David is reunited with his son Absalom. Absalom had, if you recall, killed his brother, who forced himself upon his sister Tamar. Okay, and both Absalom and his brother were David's sons. So David did not want to see Absalom. Absalom had fled because he thought that David would absolutely kill him for killing his brother. Okay, so that's that. But do you see how it is that sometimes it is good to have people who really have your best interests at heart and have good intentions toward you? Look at Joab. Though he did something somewhat deceitful, calling the lady from Tekoa to actually come and to go to David and concoct a story, right? And cook up a story to tell David. And they told David the story. And it was basically leaned onto David's own situation with Absalom. But do you want to know the most important thing? In this chapter, the most important thing here was that David had deduced that it was Joab that has sent the Tekoan lady to him. And that was not of David's own accord, but that was by the Spirit of God that was with him, the Spirit of knowledge and wisdom, because that's what helped him to derive that Joab was actually the one who sent the lady. And we know that Solomon is one of David's sons, and we can see where some of that wisdom is actually passed on to his son, and then he asks for more. But let's not go ahead at the game right there, right? Let's just stick right here. God blessed David with wisdom, and we see that countless times, numerous times, we see where the Lord actually has blessed David with wisdom, and it is what has kept him, and it is what has actually propelled him towards the level of basically acceptability that he is at, because the people loved David as their king. They all adored David as their king. And if you recall a few chapters back, it said that they loved him because they knew him in his going out and his coming ins. Okay? Because he went out before them and he came in before them. They knew him and they loved him. Alright? And so, guys, one, you need to have good counsel. You need to have friends that can offer you good counsel. Okay? And you need to exercise wisdom, godly wisdom, in everything that you do. And you need to forgive also, because that's something that was actually shown here, that was actually depicted here. Forgiveness, where David had kissed Absalom when Absalom came to the castle to see him, to the palace. Alright, guys. Alright, so I'm going to leave you right there. I think everything was straightforward, but I just wanted to point out those 3 points basically. But guys, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification so you're alerted to whenever a new audio video is posted. And guys, please don't forget to share your thoughts, your comments, and your revelations down below in the comment section, okay? It's right there for you. And I mean, if you have any questions, concerns, you can always hit me up at my IG angle in the description box below. Okay, guys, so you see that I make it very easy for you to talk to someone that is down to earth, okay, and who is still somewhat connected to God, okay? Someone who will help you, and if I cannot help you, I'll definitely help to get you assistance in answering any questions that you may have, anything that will lead you to a closer relationship with God. That's what I'm all about. That's what my angle is down below in the description for, okay? Don't forget to use it. Alright, guys, please remember to continue to walk in your salvation, and if you've not yet gained it, then seek it. There's no better time to begin than the present. Have yourselves a blessed day. Bye.